Hello everyone, as introduced, I'm Nic Smith from CoolBoard. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about how I've started from what a lot of people said was a bit of a crazy idea, and I've started turning it into a business. Just to start off, has anyone actually seen or heard of CoolBoard before? Excellent. So we've got a few in parts. Obviously our marketing has started to work, which is what we like to hear. So I thought I'd start by introducing you to CoolBoard. Obviously, one of you know what it is. For the rest of you haven't seen it yet. CoolBoard I originally developed to help me learn how to surf. And as you can hopefully see here, this is mimicking the free floating movement of a surfboard on water. So it can move in any which direction, helping me to learn my board control. Now, what we didn't know about this is while I'm balancing away up here, I'm obviously using my balance a lot. I'm using something called my proprioception, which is my body awareness. And I'm also working all of the small muscles that support my joints. So my ankles, my knees, my hips, and my lower spine. My core's also coming into play an awful lot as well. So where did this idea come from? Well, I wanted to learn how to surf. I'd done a lot of bodyboarding all throughout my life. I'd seen the cool guys on the surfboard surfing in. I was very jealous of them. A friend of mine convinced me it wasn't that hard, so I had a go. Unfortunately, she didn't know quite how bad my balance was. So after a couple of goes, I knew I wanted to get better. I had a look at balance products that were available at the time. I made a couple of these balance products and very quickly got bored with them, found they weren't challenging me enough. So I came back, as a British inventor would, I went into the garden shed, started messing around with ideas, and slowly CoolBoard formed. Once I got the idea working nicely, friends started showing an interest. I took them to a couple of shops. They were very interested as well. So we started to produce them, started selling them online via eBay, and created a web shop as well. At that point, really, I felt I was in business. However, sales were very, very low. The interesting thing at this point, however, was the fact that I was actually selling far more to personal trainers and physiotherapists than I was to boarders, surfers, snowboarders, people like that. The reason I was making these sales was because these people had seen the physical benefits of using CoolBoard. So instantly, in coming up with a product to help surfers and snowboarders, it had already taken a bit of a different path. It was going into the physical fitness market as well. At about the same time, I found out my old university was doing a business plan competition. It had a £5,000 maximum prize and also came with a supported office for the year. This sounded great. So I entered the business plan competition. This was a hell of a learning stage. To write a business plan, you've really got to start to understand your business as a whole. It's not just about having a product. The product actually makes up a very small part of your business. It's all of the parts that go together to make the business, to sell the product that really counts. So your marketing gets the idea out, so all of you guys actually know that we exist, and you know why we exist and what's good about it. You then have your sales, which then turn the interest into sales and actually get them out the door. To have marketing and sales, you need some money to finance them, so therefore you need to understand your finances. Slowly, all of these building blocks start forming so you get a picture of what your business is and how it's going to work. This was probably the best thing I ever did for CoolBoard, was break it right down into the small building blocks. It taught me that you can have a great idea, you can have the best product in the world. It won't sell unless you put the framework around it to help it to sell, to turn it into a business. Now, fortunately enough, my idea was good enough, the way I put it down in the business plan was good enough, and I managed to win. Hey presto, I had £5,000 and a supported office. I also got a lot of advice with the prize, which was a great help in moving forwards. Now, the £5,000, unfortunately, all went on patents. And that's only just scratched the surface of the patents. I didn't even manage to get a pint or a holiday out the back of it. It was purely patents. But patents to an idea are incredibly important. They protect your idea. They make your idea yours. They allow you to commercialize your idea and to take it to other people. So I'm now in a position where I can get interest from America or from China or from Australia. And if someone wishes to start to make CoolBoard and sell it, they have to go into a deal with me to be able to license my patents to make it. Now, this is another area where I can start bringing in cash from my idea. If I didn't have a patent, anyone on the planet would be free to make their own version of CoolBoard and start selling it. And patents form a part of something called IP. It's your intellectual property. Now, this is very important for any business. It includes trademarks. So even if you're a service, your trademark is your brand name. That's what people know you by. So you need to protect your idea, whether it's through patents or trademarks or copyrights. So to step back a little bit, as I was saying, we found out about all of the physical benefits of using CoolBoard. At this point, we really had to go back to school to learn exactly what it was doing to the body, how it was helping. So with a lot of work with a couple of top personal trainers and a physiotherapist, we've started to develop over 50 exercises based on CoolBoard. Now, the physical benefits I was telling you about, the stabilizing muscles around your ankles, your knees and your hips, by doing various other exercises with it, you can move these benefits all over the body. So for example here, I'll just show you a very quick push-up. By now using it for a push-up in this position, the board's able to move around. Because of this, it's making me use my core far more to hold it in position. I'm also starting to engage a lot of the small stabilizing muscles around the back of my shoulders, upper spine and so forth. So it gives you what's called a very functional fitness. Now, it's taken about 2.5 years to develop this side of it. Through that development, the product has had to be developed as well, so it's not just use. We now have, originally we started selling these with mini inflatable balls, which we still use as our introductory package. We now have our Pro Balls, which is a solid polyurethane ball. Now, this has been developed by us specifically for CoolBoard. That was another lot of development, more time, more cash. With the personal trainers and physiotherapists really starting to use them a lot at this point, they loved the physical benefits of using the CoolBoard, but said that for some clients they needed an easier option. So again, more development, we started using the balance disc. Now, this is quite a standard physio product, but when used in conjunction with a CoolBoard, it gives you an easy stepping stone. Pretty much anyone of any ability can now get on top of a CoolBoard quite safely. They can start to develop their balance and their strength so that they're then ready to then progress up onto the ball and get the full benefit of it. So now that we've developed, we've now got our two markets. We've got the outdoors, the board sports, the surfing, the snowboarding, the wakeboarding. We've also now turned CoolBoard into what's basically a home mini gym or a personal trainer's tool. We've got the business plan. We understand how the business is going to work, what components are needed to make it a commercial success. And now's where the hard work starts. You actually have to follow the plan you've put out. You need to test and measure as you follow your plan, see what's giving you successes, and build on your successes. Along the way, we've had a few bits of good luck. The first was I managed to get us onto the Gadget Show. Now, the Gadget Show is a hell of a good program. A couple of phone calls, put the idea across. They really liked it. They invited us up to do one of their, sorry, I've forgotten the word, one of their focus groups, where they test 3 or 4 products on about 15, 20 people. CoolBoard was taken up to the University of Birmingham. We were tested on the Birmingham's netball team and their rugby team. There was 2 other fitness products tested at the same time. Luckily enough for us, they loved us. We got 16 votes out of 18. The phone started ringing off the hook the second the advert break came on, and the next 3 months was fantastic business for us. It really put us on the map and established us as the new fitness product and the new board sports product. The best thing out of this was the belief in PR that it gave me. PR is one of the best forms of marketing a new product can have. It can be free to begin with. If you've got an idea, you can start phoning magazine editors, you can start putting the idea out there, they will start testing it for you and featuring it. At the end of the day, magazines need a story, you provide them with a story, they will put it out there for you. By having magazines writing about stories, all of you guys start to find out about CoolBoard through the magazines you're reading. This is a far better way of going than, for example, taking out advertising. If you imagine if I took out an advert for CoolBoard and put it in the back of a magazine, you guys have never heard of us. You probably won't even notice the advert. It'll be money down the drain. If we can get some PR first, you can read about it, knowing that you're reading from the editor, so the words that are written there are believable. And then when we do advertising further down the line, it reminds you of the original article you read. You've already been introduced to the idea. So where has this brought us to now? Well, I'm now 4 years in. I've got 3 guys building the Coolboards for me. Originally, I built the first 150, 200 myself by my own hand. Now 3 guys do that, so I can concentrate on building the business and selling. I also have an office manager, James, who runs the office for us, so again, I can concentrate on the selling side. We have a PR agency, so no longer am I spending all the time on the phones to the editors. They now gain us some fantastic PR. So, for example, we came out in Runner's World earlier this week, and we've had a lot of people on the stand come up and say, seen this, show us a bit about it, right, now we want to buy one, off we go. I also have a social media girl. Another great form of marketing, using Facebook, Twitter, forums, blogs, and so forth to spread the word of CoolBoard. Where has this got us to? Well, we're just about to start breaking even. So after 4 years' work, we've slowly been making a loss. We've now righted that, we've expanded, we've taken on staff, and we're now at a point where we're breaking even. So now's to carry on that good work and start turning it into a profit. At that point, we really will have a business. So what would be the moral of my story? Well, first things first, as hopefully you can guess from the 4-year period and just breaking even, it's not easy. It's very hard work to take an idea of yours, commercialize it, gain the traction in the market, and actually start making money out of it. However, it's incredibly satisfying. The days when it's going good, I'm high as a kite, it's fantastic. I get some beautiful feedback from people. From the simple things of a family of 4 going skiing in the Alps, coming back saying, we used the CoolBoard for beforehand, it made a hell of a difference. We weren't moaning by Wednesday afternoon, the aches and pains were far reduced, and they had more confidence and skills so they could attack the piece better. We've also had feedback from areas we never thought we'd get it from. A guy that has horrible muscle spasms in his pelvis and gets wheelchair bound. Lovely bits of feedback saying CoolBoard is the only thing that gets him back on his feet, because the movement of it is perfect for relaxing the nerves and getting the basic movement back into his legs so he can start to walk again. That kind of feedback puts the biggest smile on your face you can believe. So what would I say to all of you? If you've got an idea, try it. Don't be shy, give it a go. If it starts to work, and it feels good, then really go for it. Put all of your passion and all of your effort behind it. And with hard work and with a few good ideas, it will come together. With all of this, and obviously you do need the passion. The passion is vital to get you out of bed every morning and keep you working on it. But also use your head. Plan. As I said, the business plan was probably the best thing I ever did for CoolBoard. It gave me the understanding of how the business could move forwards. Also get a lot of advice. There's so much advice out there, and you can get a lot of free advice. You can start with places like Business Link or the UKTI, UK Trade and Industry. These people have an immense amount of free advice, whether it's website-based or actually one-on-one with an advisor. This will allow you to start forming your idea. And on the note of advice, also speak to people like me. And all of you are free to come and find me at the end. Ask me questions about any of the experience I've been through, from coming up with the idea, writing business plans, understanding the patent world and the IP world, which, as I said, is very important to bringing your business forwards. So that's about it from me. Hopefully that's given you a little inkling into what it's like trying to get your own business off the ground. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nick. And anyone like to ask Nick a question while he's here and standing with us? Because I tell you, one question that I've got for Nick is, we had Sam Fountain, who actually invented Shiwi. Shiwi have got a stand over there as well. So some of you may have heard of that product. Sam went on Dragon's Den. Have you ever considered going on Dragon's Den? Would it be worth your while?
I've considered Dragon's Den very deeply, and in fact we've had chats with them. They've come up to me several times at shows like this and asked for us to go on. If it was 5 or 6 years ago, I would have said Dragon's Den was a fantastic opportunity for anyone in my position. It was very much run on the entrepreneurial idea of getting ideas out there, and if they were right to invest in, getting investment and backing to push them forwards. Trouble is, Dragon's Den is ultimately a TV program. So whether your idea is good or bad, whether they like you or not, you are putting yourself forward as TV fodder. They might decide to rubbish you, they might decide to champion you. You don't get to make that decision. At the end of the day, I'm sure if you put the camera on me or any one of us and then edited it, I could make all of you look great, or I could make all of you look rather bad. And as you have no control over that, you are putting the life of your business into the Dragon's Den editor's hands. So in that way, we've now felt it's quite a risk to try and put your idea through the Dragon's Den.